LSM sports community. Welcome to our Winter 2021 Sports Awards program. As much as we would all love to be getting together in the auditorium as in a typical year, we're just not quite there yet. So we're going to bring you our Winter Awards as we did in the fall, with all of our coaches speaking to you about their seasons, recapping their seasons, telling you about their athletes and their special award winners. I'd first like to congratulate a few select athletes who had the distinction of being named all CCC in their respective sports. From the boys basketball team, Bryce Waldron. From our girls basketball team, Brianna Pelcher. From our ice hockey team, Scott Rolu, as a member of the Farmington Valley co-op team. And our cheerleading squad had two athletes, Emily Medore and Brooke Fitzgerald. Congratulations to all of you. Some special thank yous go out as always. First to our principal, Chris Rao, who tirelessly works not just for our students but for our athletes as well. He is always there supporting them, not just in person, but through his Twitter platform, through his morning announcements, and is our true number one fan here at LSM. So thank you to Principal Rao. As always, thank you to Trainer Chris. She is the anchor of our entire sports program here. She holds everything together and is an integral part of everything that goes on here in LSM athletics. This season forced us into a new world of live streaming, which we got better at as the year went on, and never could have happened without the help that I got from some of our students. First and foremost, an enormous thank you to Tyler Strahl, who taped virtually all of our girls and boys basketball games. Tyler, your work was viewed by hundreds out there, not just in the LSM community, but from our opposing teams as well. You did a fantastic job. You were so reliable and so professional. We can't thank you enough for what you did. And right behind Tyler was Maddie Rowenko, working with all the chat updates on those live streams and even stepping in as the cameraman for one of the events at the end. Sam DeSorbo and Bailey Maselli took a turn behind the mic and did some announcing for some of our basketball games that they put out on the LSM Fever platform, just to add a little color and add a little excitement as best they could to the boys basketball season. So thank you to all of you. It was really a team effort this year to make this winter sports season happen. So without further ado, I'd like to bring you to our coaches. I'll let you know that they're coming up in this order. We're going to have our boys basketball coach, Ryan Raponi, speak first. He'll be followed by our girls basketball coach, Al Charlo, and then indoor track with Coach Gene Michaud, followed by our swimming coach, Reed Matusik, and then finally our cheerleading coach, Ginny Fitzgerald. So enjoy their presentations.
Hello there. Thank you for taking some time to join us this evening for the boys basketball portion of the awards. I'd like to just congratulate everybody for completing their seasons. I'd like to congratulate all the award winners. Special thanks to administration for making this season, possible, and anybody that was involved in the support staff. There's so many people behind the scenes that make these games go. I wish I could mention you all, but thank you. Thank you to the parents for attending those games and making it seem like we had way more people in there than we did. Thank you to the cheerleaders for creating that environment for us this season. We're hoping we could get that Thunderdome back and rocking next year. I'd like to thank Ethan Coates, varsity manager. Ethan is at every practice, at every game that he can be at, and he does an excellent job for us. Coach Vitale with the freshman team, great job this season. Freshman team finished over 500. I saw improvement. Those players came in and they worked hard, and Coach worked them hard. All right, so great job to the freshman team and Coach Vitale. Thank you for your season. Coach Klett, great job with the JVs this year, and a great job by the JVs. All right, it definitely showed improvement throughout the year, and to finish, over 500 in our leagues is an accomplishment. And we look forward to seeing those sub-varsity players come through and contribute to us at the varsity level within the next few years. Coach O'Keefe, I'd like to thank Coach O'Keefe, our volunteer assistant. You saw Coach O'Keefe, up on the sidelines as the acting head coach for those 4 games that I was sitting here on the couch in the quarantine. But Coach O'Keefe and the entire coaching staff did a great job, in my absence. And we really appreciate what he brings to the program as a volunteer, with his time. Motto this year, stay on the rise. We definitely did a nice job last season, coming back from slow start and getting into the state tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to play. So, in the off season, I'm thinking, let's stay on the rise. Let's get better, and let's come out and let's repeat that performance, and make it to the state tournament. Unfortunately, we were told there would be no state tournament, but in the pandemic and the situation that we were placed in, we were really just happy to be out there and playing basketball. And we were faced with some really difficult competition. 2 of the largest schools in the state were in our division, Southington and New Britain. We were able to beat New Britain on the road on their senior night, after they had beat us the first time around. That's a great accomplishment. Bristol Central was the number 1 team in the state. They went undefeated. We were able to get a lead on them in the second half, and we competed with them. We're never an easy matchup for Bristol Central. All right, and that's an accomplishment. Farmington, they went and they won the Division II bracket in the CCC. Just goes to show how tough our league was. Plainville, they went out and won the Division III bracket. Okay, we competed with every single one of these teams. 7 of our 9 losses, we had a lead in the second half. And I'm not just talking about, first half 2-0. We had leads in the second half. It was never effort. It was just a little bit of execution. And we wanted to win a few more of them, but we had our great moments. All right, Bristol Eastern games twice. Great execution on both ends of the floor. I already mentioned the New Britain game, the first Plainville game, the first game back after a pandemic to win a 1-point game. What's better than that? Logan Cowger, Kogi Gables, both do an excellent job as undersized 5 men for us, battling the likes of, a Duncan and a Klingon and the big guy from New Britain, every night going out there and banging with the big boys. We really appreciate what they do for us. Bryce Waldron, all right, another starter that sees significant minutes that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Josh Martinotti and Jake Lomnicki. Josh returned to the program this year after missing last season, and Josh did a great job for us when he was healthy. I was sorry to see him get hurt, but you know what? Josh was a great teammate. He stuck around, he stuck by his teammates, and he supported them. They're rested away, and we'll never forget that. And Lam was a great teammate as well. All right, what you see from Lam in the games when he gets time, hustling on the floor, playing D, being physical, rebounding, the toughness, that's what you get every day out of him at practice. All right, and he shows great leadership and what he brings to the team, and everybody knows what he brings to us. All right, so we appreciate those 2 seniors and what they did for us. Our captains are Tommy Varnati and Nate DeCara. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them in a moment. We had 5 award winners this year. Most Improved Award is going to John Sheaby. All right, you saw John start the year as a JV player. He was performing well at that level. There's a lot of things going on in practice that we were looking for. And when I saw some of those things start to present themselves when Tommy got hurt, there was an opportunity for some more minutes, and John got more of those minutes, and John performed great. All right, and he went in there, he worked on the defensive end very hard. He knew what he was doing on the offensive end, and he ended up coming around and having a couple really good nights for us. All right, we look for John to have more big nights in the future. For this season, John is our most improved player. Congratulations to John. Instant Impact Award. Added this in this season. We had an instant impact player. If you see Drew Cormier come, into the gym, you see an athlete, very physical, talented player. And, and he stepped right onto the court, and you could see that in game one. All right, now, once defenses started adjusting, Drew had to do some other things. He started setting up his teammates. He started making sure that we were making sure he was guarding some of the best players on the other team. He was handling the ball against pressure. He was getting rebounds. And then he finally got a dunk against Ram. We were happy to see that. But, anybody watching could tell what Drew did for the team. And, he's a good kid, right? And he definitely deserved that Instant Impact Award. All right, congratulations, Drew. Sportsmanship Award winner. This player is also being recognized as an all-conference player in the CCC. That's Bryce Waldron. All right. Bryce, not only does he perform on the court as a player, not only does he lead, he is also seen as a leader by his teammates. All right. Everybody respects Bryce, and the league recognizes that. When I talk to other coaches, they tell me how much they love the way that Bryce carries himself. When I talk to officials, because I have close relationships with those guys as well, right? They say, hey, that number 22, man, he seems like he's a good leader for you, and he's a good player, right? And that's the truth. That's what you're getting out of Bryce: a leader, a player. He's humble, and he's well liked by his teammates. And when a guy could go out there and compete, and then still be all those things, that shows good sportsmanship. So congratulations, Bryce. Sportsmanship Award, and Nate, is our Coaches Award winner this season. Congratulations to Nate. Our Spartan Award winner this season is Tommy Martino. The Spartan Award, kind of an all-around performer award, and Tommy is that for us. All right. Not only does he perform on the floor, he's also a leader, and he's really developed as that. Last season, he showed so much improvement during the season, and then he showed so much improvement in the off season, and then he's such a competitor. All right, and to us, that's what a Spartan, is. Similar to a warrior, right? He goes out there, he gets hurt in a game. You think that could be it for him, but nah, he's determined, and he was determined to get himself back and get back out on the floor. And you saw the difference that it made. We lost some tough ones with Tommy sitting there watching, and then down the stretch, to take 3 out of your last 5 with Tommy back in there, I think it was a testament, and just kind of shows, his importance to the team. And he was a leader out there. Both Tommy and Nate, great captains, great leaders. But Tommy is getting our Spartan Award this year. All right, and congratulations to you, Tommy, on that. Congratulations to all the award winners, all right, from our boys basketball team. All right, I really wish I could have spent more time on some of the other players. We're a little bit pressed for time right now. Hopefully when we get back next season, all right, we'll be ready to rock and have a great year in the Thunderdome. I look forward to seeing everybody back in there next year. All right, good luck to everybody this spring and in this off season. Take care.
Welcome everyone to this year's virtual version of our end of season awards ceremony. I'm Coach Charlo, and I'll be talking about the girls basketball program. I'm going to start with a number of thank yous. These are people who had a profound impact on our program this season. Principal Chris Rao for his continued interest and support of the program. As always, he did an amazing job of reading my write-ups. He was able to add enthusiasm and flair to each write-up, which made it really special for our players. Athletic Director Jay Pelcher, who was incredibly supportive right from the beginning by providing us with those great Under Armour masks and making sure that all games, including JV, were live streamed. Trainer Chris Weaving, you guys have heard me say this in the past, and I'll say it again. There is no one better than Chris. If she's on the scene of an injury, she saves me time by writing up the accident report. She watches practices intently, which gives her insight into players' strengths and weaknesses, which, in turn, she can put to good use if a player suffers an injury. She knows our offenses better than some of our players. And her constant communication with school nurses makes the coach's job so much easier. Our team moms, Melanie Mills and Laura Annenson, for their work with communicating with the parents of new players. Melanie Mills for her updates on our Twitter feed. Christy Searle, Deanna Anderson, and Steph Belier for their amazing work on the senior night festivities. They really made it special for our 4 seniors and manager. Our 4 managers, Amy Crossman, Marissa Medico, Lexi Bilikbashi, and Sydney Fournier for their help with stats and the scorebook. Preston Hazard for videotaping both away and home games and then uploading them to Huddle. At times, it can be quite tedious and run into the late evening. All of the local and outside our community establishments who donated gift certificates to our door prize fundraiser. Kevin the Cookie Dough Man for providing us with an awesome fundraiser which generates a substantial profit for our program. Our parents for supporting and contributing to our fundraisers along with attending our home games. Jenny Fitzgerald and her cheerleaders for really rocking the gym and providing spirit. Christina Demichael for singing the anthem at home games. Photographer Jim Islinger for his amazing team and individual picture taking. Boys coach Ryan Raponi, who's just a great guy to work with, always flexible and understanding with issues that come up with practice schedules. Christy Dockman, whose daughter Annika graduated from the program last year, yet she still volunteered to keep the varsity scorebook for home and away games, and on many occasions came early and also handled the JV book duties. JV coach and assistant Janice Wilcox and assistant coach Mike Mahalik. Both coaches were new to the program this season. They did a wonderful job for us, especially on nights where they had to patch together a JV squad due to the lack of numbers because of injuries and quarantines. The team finished with a 3-8 record, but they competed vigorously night in and night out and were pretty much competitive in every game that they played. The 2 coaches worked seamlessly together to the point where you would never have known that it was their first year working together. And lastly, the players. Through all of the ups and downs of this crazy shortened season, you guys were amazingly resilient, keeping your heads up, staying positive, demonstrating a never give up mentality, always working toward achieving those broken down mini games within the larger game itself. Let's talk a little bit about those games. We knew that the season was going to be a challenge. We knew that at some point we could lose coaches and players to quarantines, and there was even the possibility of a complete shutdown, as was the case with some programs around the state. We did encounter several quarantines during the season, which, as I said earlier, were to be expected. However, we were not expected to lose our point guard for 3/4 of the season, lose another varsity starter for 2 games, add in a concussion, broken finger, and 7 stitches to a leg, and there goes any semblance of a bench. Now you have the majority of your starters playing 30 to 32 minutes per game, and in a season where your preseason was cut short, you are going to have issues. I've been saying this to our team all season long. Our final record of 2-12 was no way indicative of the season we thought we had within our inner circle. As a coach, it never felt to me that we were a 2-and team, and my players felt the same way, and it was important for them to feel that way. During my coaching career, I have encountered seasons where we were 0-17, and honestly, it felt like 0-30. I know that it may be hard for some of you to fathom this, but as a team, we were able to stay upbeat and positive throughout our losing streak. And like I said before, there wasn't that normal, low morale, gloomy, ugly feeling of what on paper looks to be like a really bad losing season. With the exception of the Southington, second Bristol Eastern, and the first half of the second Farmington game, we felt we competed hard and had chances to win a good number of those games, considering the lineup changes that we had to make due to the significant injuries and quarantines. For most of the second half of the season, we started 2 ninth graders, 2 10th graders, and a senior. These players had to gut it out over and over due to our lack of bench strength. No complaints, just sweat and guts. Were they tired? Absolutely. Did they even ask to come out of a game because of fatigue? Never. Their willingness to compete and leave every last ounce of energy on the floor made this team special. The loss of senior captain Abby Spud Mills for the 3/4 of the season was devastating. Her leadership, ball handling, pinpoint passing, 3-point, and free throw shooting were sorely missed. You don't have to be a basketball guru to notice the glaring difference in our team when she wasn't on the floor. For all of the reasons I just mentioned, this year's Spartan Award goes to Abby Spud Mills for the 2nd season in a row. Congratulations, Abby. Our other senior captain was Brianna Pelcher. Bree missed her captain counterpart more than anyone, because now Bree went into every game feeling like she had to shoulder the load, especially when the remaining part of your lineup was 80% freshmen and sophomores. Bree was selected to the Region B All-Star team for the second consecutive year. For putting her heart and soul into this team, Brianna Pelcher is this season's winner of our Commitment to Program Award. Nice job, Bree. Our other two seniors were Grace Anderson and Christina Demichael. Grace was a role player who knew exactly what was expected of her. She knew that there would be some games, based on matchups, she wouldn't see the floor. And then there were other games where she would have to play 32 minutes. As I said on senior night about Grace, never a complaint, always a proud wink and a thumbs up. Christina Demichael was another role player who knew that her job was to make her teammates better in practice and be the most supportive player on that bench. After missing a year and a half of basketball due to her severe concussion, Christina could have decided to pack it in and not participate this year. But that is not in her DNA. She wanted to be part of the program, and she was extremely helpful to us by volunteering to play in some JV games when injuries and quarantines wreaked havoc for the JV team. Christina did everything that was asked of her this season, and you could not find a better teammate. Christina is this year's winner of our Sportsmanship Award. You deserved it, Christina. Abby Jankowski logged huge minutes for us in her second season. She led the team in rebounding with 9.8 per game. Jordan Anderson, last year's top JV player and winner, Jordan Anderson, last year's top JV player award winner, faced the daunting task of moving to the number 2 guard to replace from the number 2 guard to play point guard to replace Spud. This change put a tremendous amount of pressure on Jordan. As a young player, she handled the move extremely well. Her uncanny ability to drive to the hoop, pull up and shoot, along with her improved defense, led us to name Jordan this season's Most Improved Award winner. Great job, Jordan. Two freshmen, Lily Martino and Kaylee Smith, played significant roles for us this year. Lily was a force right from game 1 against Plainville, where she recorded 5 blocked shots. Kaylee, after a bit of a slow start due to being quarantined, came on strong during the second half of the season, showing aggressiveness on both offense and defense, while still not having her sea legs. Normally, when two freshmen go into the lineup the way these guys did this year, they had roles as just helpers and to help the older players. But in this case, these two girls were being asked to score points, and it made it very difficult for them. This year's top Newcomer Awards goes to these two young ladies, Kaylee and Lily. Congrats, ladies. Lauren Bambi Searle was starting to see valuable minutes, especially on defense, where her abilities would have allowed us to press in more situations. She was derailed by a broken finger and missed 5 games. Cassie Marnati came off the bench and played some key minutes for us during our injury spree. The rest of our varsity roster included Kiana Belair, Michaela Isakani, and Abby Rubliski. Let's get to some of those games that I was talking about earlier. We opened the season at Plainville, where we had a 6-point lead with 1:20 to go. We got beat at the buzzer. That team went on to beat quality teams such as Bristol Eastern, Southington, and Farmington, finishing with an impressive 10-2 record. We led both Bristol Eastern and Farmington at halftime, and with some better shooting and a few less turnovers, both New Britain games could have gone a different way. There's no question that if we had our point guard, some of the second half of the season games would have had different results. I kept telling the girls the same thing over and over. It doesn't feel like a one-and season. Another factor that points to that is our team grade for each game. As most of you know, after every game, I always give the players an individual and team grade. Now, in past years, with this system, the majority of the time when you're faced with a loss, the team grade is usually a C or less. Well, this season, 9 of our 12 losses were games where our team grade was a B- or better. In conclusion, I want to thank our seniors once again. Your leadership will be missed during both games and practices. Christina's never-ending smiles, Grace's winks and thumbs up, Spud's relentless energy and dedication, and Bree's yeoman's work on the boards for a player her size, along with her spectacular end of quarter, Chapag 2019, and end of game, Maloney 2021, finishes will never be forgotten. Considering that there were times this past fall when we thought we would never have a winter season, we're very thankful that we did have one, and the girls were able to also take part in a tournament experience. Going forward, we have a great returning nucleus of players, with our younger players gaining valuable varsity experience. With significant off-season work, including AAU, camps, summer and fall league experience, I am super excited about the future of our team. Thank you.
Good evening. First, I would like to congratulate all of the winter teams for pushing through the season with all the obstacles we faced. The 2021 indoor track and field team will be remembered for all their hard work despite not knowing if they would be given a chance to compete due to the pandemic. After making it through several rounds of COVID quarantines and the snow melting just in the nick of time, we were able to have 3 meets outdoors, including a virtual championship. The team amazingly was able to eclipse 2 school records despite needing to run outside for the indoor meets. I believe the records broken are indicative of the way the team worked together, as both records were relays, meaning 8 of our 21 athletes were part of the record books, and they were set on our own track during the virtual championship meet. The girls 4x200 record of 1 minute 53.9 was ran by Ava Bonini, Elise Pasqualini, Madeline Croget, and Gabriella Zeller. The boys' record of 140.3 was ran by Vincent Mascoli, Andrew Wright, Nate Pinette, and Michael Johnson. Other highlights of the championship included the same girls relay team winning the sprint medley, and a sweep in the 55 meters by Michael Johnson and Madeline Croget. Other event winners included Ginny Mullen in the 600 meter, Michael Johnson in both the 55 hurdles and the 300 meter, Justin Cassio in the 1600 and 3200, and Gabriella Zeller in the 300 meter. Matt Smith also won in the shot put, and we had a clean sweep in pole vault with Emily Eichner and Jordan Michaud. The senior members of our team included the 4 captains, Elise Pasqualini, Emily Eichner, as well as Nate Pinette and Vincent Mascoli. Thanks to all of them for their dedication and hard work during their years on the team. They brought a strong work ethic as well as a positive attitude that was infectious to the team and applauded by the coaches. In conclusion, I would like to thank Mr. Pelcher for his leadership this year, as well as the continued support of Chris Weaving, our beloved athletic trainer. Also, I wanted to give a loud shout out to Coach Evans, our newest coach on staff. She held down the fort multiple times when I was quarantined. To the rest of my athletes, congratulations on a successful season, and I hope to see you all next year for another successful season. And best of luck to all the seniors in your future endeavors. Last, I would like to give the four award winners for each of the teams. For our most outstanding, Justin Cassio and Elise Pasqualini. Most improved went to Michael Johnson and Gabriella Zeller. Our Sportsmanship Award went to Andrew Wright and Emily Eichner. And last of all, the Coaches Award went to Madeline Croget and Vincent Mascoli. Thank you very much.
I'm Coach Reed Matusik. Other coaching staff this year, first year coach Liz Sears. She did a great job. Thank you very much. And our dive coach Kendall Dyer. Good job, Kendall. Worked independently with our dive team. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank Jay Pelcher. His role as AD this year was very difficult, I'm sure, for him. He was a great asset to us. And also our trainer, Chris Weaving. Couldn't do it without you, Chris. Thank you. Challenging season this year. Very short. We had the only complaints from our swimmers were that their times didn't seem to be as fast as last year when we were going into our last 2 weeks of the season. I had to remind them that the last 2 weeks of the season was only our 6th week of practice. Normally after 6 weeks of practice, we still have 2 months of a season left. So even though some of them didn't achieve what they did the year before, I'm proud of all of them. They all worked hard and did their best. I'd also like to thank our parent volunteers, Kristen Bergstrom, Alyssa Preveno, and Jennifer Atkins. They helped out at our home meets. Couldn't have done it without them. Thank you. Let's see. We had championships this year. A little different also. What happened was we had a dual meet. All the other teams in our pod had dual meets, and then we compared times. We had some top 12 finishers. We had Brad Bergstrom in the 50 freestyle and 100 freestyle, Carson Preveno in the 500 freestyle, and our 200 freestyle relay team of Kyle Bergstrom, Lucas Bushka, Jason Warner, and Brad Bergstrom placed 6th. Let's see, we also had quite a few lettermen this year. We had some folks achieving their silver pin, so 3 letters. That would be our senior captain, Liz Gordon, fellow senior Jack Howard. Also receiving the silver bar, juniors Brad Bergstrom, Kyle Bergstrom, Lucas Bushka, Marissa Gniknovich, Hannah LeBurge, another captain, Carson Preveno, and Jason Warner, our 3rd captain. We had some second-year lettermen, sport pins, junior Ashley Mitchell, diver, and sophomore TJ Howlett. We had first-year lettermen. Let's see, juniors Jalen Dixon, sophomore Nick Atkins, and freshman Kaylee Preveno. Well done, all of you. We had our awards this year. Our commitment award went to Hannah LeBurge. Hannah would do any event we asked of her. She did a great job. I don't know of any event I can't put her in. I never put her in a distance event, but that might be in her future, Hannah, for next year. We'll see. Sportsmanship went to Carson Preveno. Carson, no matter what, wanted to improve. He swam our distance events, very dedicated to them, and as I said, always looking to improve. Great job, Carson. Our most improved swimmer was Lauren Grant. Lauren's stamina, her technique, everything about her this year, very impressive. Keep it up. Our coaches award. And this award, this one is the one I find sometimes the hardest to elect someone for. This year it was easy. It goes to Liz Gordon. Liz has always reminded me that these are high schoolers and they want to have fun. She was always there to help out her teammates. She was always there to remind us of promises we made. So I can't thank Liz enough for a great season. That about wraps it up for everything I wanted to cover. Short and quick. So everyone, hopefully we'll see you next year. Take care.
Hello, I'm Jenny Fitzgerald, the cheerleading coach at Lewis Mills High School. I'd like to start by thanking Jay Pelcher for guiding us through this season. I'd also like to thank the administration, the safety officers, the custodians, and also, of course, Chris, the trainer. Finally, I'd like to thank the parents of my athletes for trusting me to keep them healthy and to keep them safe. Certainly, this cheer season did not represent what we as a team were capable of, but instead it taught us the importance of being adaptable and resilient, 2 important characteristics that are necessary to succeed beyond the walls of LSM. Unable to cheer in that traditional sense, we were limited to maintaining an 11-foot distance and staying one place. These restrictions did take away a lot of what makes cheerleading exciting for the athletes. There was no stunting, no dancing, no jumping, and at Mills we didn't even do any sideline cheers. For this reason, and I'm sure many others, I did unfortunately lose athletes from fall until winter. However, for the 11 athletes I did maintain, I really hope that I was able to provide them something to remember and something that they are proud of, because I'm very proud of them for their commitments. After all of this craziness is behind us, I believe when we look back, we will feel good about the energy that we brought to the gymnasium, and hopefully both the girls team and boys team know that we were there willing them all the way through the very end. So we also were challenged this season by quarantines. However, I'm able to highlight a few of the very good things that we were able to celebrate this season. Specifically, we enjoyed the boys and girls team senior nights, and we thank the parents for helping to organize that. We were also able to have a senior night of our own, and I appreciate the time to celebrate our seniors and the commitments and dedications they've made to the team and this school over the many years. I think this senior class is very special to me, and I'd like to take a moment to note their names individually and allow them each to be memorialized here in this video and for many years to come. Lauren Pacheco, Brianna Pelcher, Emily White, Cheyenne Langlis, Captain Emily Medore, Captain Megan Brochu, Captain Brooke Fitzgerald, and Sarah Pickley. I've had the pleasure of coaching these young ladies for 5 seasons, and I've really enjoyed it. They've brought a lot to my life, and they've brought a lot of spirit to the school. I was also fortunate, I was able to nominate them for All-CC, and the ones that came through and wanted to be nominated included all-conference nominees were Sarah Pickley, Cheyenne Langlis, Brianna Martino, Emily Medore, and Brooke Fitzgerald. Of the nominees, I was told yesterday that All-CC Conference selected both Emily Medore and Brooke Fitzgerald to be part of their team. In addition to All-Conference, the videos that they made were submitted for both Brooke and Emily for All-State. The results of that will come out tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some updates from there. But what that is and what that recognition means is that only 20 athletes in Class M are recognized as an All-State athlete. So we've got our fingers crossed with the 2 nominees that they'll hopefully make it into All-State. Brooke was one last year, and I'm hoping Emily can make it into All-State this year. Now, on to my end of the season awards. This is my 5th opportunity to give out awards, and I'm also proud to say that of the seniors that stayed on board for this last season, 7 of them had already previously won an award. So I'm going to start off and kick it off and give an award to that 8th member who is also well-deserving. My first award is going to Emily White. Emily is getting the Spartan Award. Emily was a returning athlete this year for both fall and winter, and she was very dedicated in the winter season and did a wonderful job on the sidelines smiling through her mask. So congratulations, Emily White. My coach's award is also going to an Emily. This young lady, Emily Medore, has been fantastic as a captain. She's improved her skills, and she has shown a ton of dedication over all 4 years here at Mills High School. So congratulations, Emily Medore. Some of my underclassmen and juniors are also getting an award today. This next award goes to a young lady who shows up always on time, always prepared, and always willing to offer new ideas. She's a true leader, and I'm very proud of her because this is actually her 2nd award that I'm giving over the past year, and that is going to Jocelyn Munson. Congratulations, Jocelyn. Congratulations, Jocelyn. The final award is going to a young man, and this is my Spartan Award for sportsmanship. He stood out to me at one of the games where I only had 6 athletes on the sidelines due to various reasons. During that game, we needed some more spirit and we needed some leadership, and Mitchell stepped up and did a wonderful job. And in that moment, it really stood out to me as a great time in my season to say, boy, Mitch has really come a long way, and I want to congratulate him and award him with something to recognize that. So congratulations, Mitch. So this concludes my awards for the season. I'd like to wrap up by just saying that it has absolutely been an honor and a privilege to coach here at Lewis Mills. In the 2.5 years and 5 seasons that I've had the opportunity, I feel like we've achieved a lot. These athletes have raised money to afford themselves new gear, new signs, pom-poms. Some of these athletes have attended summer clinics together, while others attended fall rallies together. We competed together and we won. We performed skills at a higher level than I think we even thought we could. And between it all, we supported the football team, the soccer team, the girls, and the boys basketball team, making memories along the way. of those memories and everything we've created, the one thing I'm most proud of with these athletes is the way that they've carried themselves in and out of the practices and out of their games. As a team, we had set the goal, and I talk about it at every award ceremony, of having zero drama. And I can tell you that I'm super proud to say that for another season, not only did we have zero drama, we had just tremendous commitment to one another as we celebrated many of the seniors their last season together. I want to just take again the time to say it's been my pleasure to coach you all. And to my seniors, I wish you a 2021 of amazingness as you move on into the next chapter of your lives. No matter what challenges you are faced with, remember, you have everything within you to succeed. Believe it, because I believe in you all. Thank you.
That concludes our Winter 2021 Sports Award program. Thank you for watching. We'll be coming back to you again in the spring, maybe in person, maybe one more virtual. But until then, thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to our spring season.